When I say they're mandatory, we'll either have another follow-up one or we'll video record it and you watch it. Okay. Some folks are familiar with it already. On my favorite page, the For ACT Staff page, which has nearly everything you need to know. You can find in the handbook information about oh yeah, I forgot it's touchscreen. In the handbook information about missed meetings and how to make them up. You have 2 sample summaries, one in writing and humanities and one in math and science. Sometimes those areas write a little differently and they're both acceptable. And it also says read training meeting attendance in the handbook. All right, so that's information about that. Regarding the suicide initiative presentation, 2 things I want to say about that is, one, there have been 2 suicides in my life, so I felt sort of, I don't know if hoodwinked is the right word, but we went to a department meeting and I was very uncomfortable. I would have liked to have known what it was about so I could opt out. But I was sort of stuck there. And when they say, you're in the meeting and they say, would you like to opt out of this meeting? You sort of feel stigmatized, like as you walk out of the meeting going, I'm opting out. So I'm telling you now, if you have similar experience or it's a trigger for you in some way, please let me know in the best way possible through email or one-to-one, and you are not required to attend it. However, if that's not a problem for you, I do recommend it. I think at Georgia Tech they're having real problems with this issue. I don't know what the record is, but McKenna, my wife, teaches there, and she was actually in a building where it happened on the day she was teaching. So it's happening at various campuses and to higher degrees than others. So if you can attend it, it might help. It might help you personally, or it might help you, professionally with people that come to see us if they show signs or something like that. She will schedule another presentation. That's the other point about this. Okay, so 2 points. If it's a trigger for you, let me know. You can opt out of it. 2 is if you can't make this one, there is another one. And I can tell you now, if you want to write this down, it's on a horrible day, I think. It's the day before at 9:15. I'll give you location and everything. Director Shaw of the CSU Advise, her team is attending one too. So there are more options. So it's mandatory. You can opt out. If you miss this one that we've listed, then there will be another one. Okay. Yes.
Is there 9:15 on January 31st?
It's the it's the 14th. Yep. So it's the day before Valentine's Day. The day before the one I've listed before. Okay. TILT training, transparency in learning and teaching. I don't know, it may benefit writing and humanities tutors more, but I can see it being beneficial to science and mathematics tutors as well when people receive real complex sort of assignments. Okay. So what this will help you do, in addition to like the coaching one today, is integrate tutoring strategies into your already existing skill set. Okay. So interpreting assignments is really what it is. Helping clients that come to us interpret what's there, what's expected of them, because sometimes we've all experienced this. I've even produced some, and as a student I've experienced this, assignment instructions that are vague, confusing, and so forth. So TILT training, transparency in learning and teaching, is supposed to help clients interpret assignments. All right? That one is optional. I really want you to go to it if you can. I say it's optional, and here's the connection, is we can't make it up. So the other ones are mandatory. You'll make it up sometime at another meeting if you can't make one that I've already shared. This one is, we would have one in the fall or next year. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Any questions about meetings? Whether mandatory or optional and how they are in those ways? I'm looking at Mason, because you're a good tester, giving good feedback. So.
That's fine.
All right. Cool. Training, more training. All these announcements are about training. You probably received, and I didn't bring it in with me, an email from Human Resources, Columbus State Human Resources, and then it might have this logo EverFi on it from lawyerroom.com. It's legitimate. It's from CSU, the University System of Georgia. You are paid for it. I forgot to mention that. Somebody, who brought it up? Kayla, where are you? Is Kayla here? Thank you for bringing it up. I did my training, I don't know, December, early this month. It's common sense, I think, a lot of it. I went through it quickly. Some people are told it takes 2 hours. Some people have experienced it taking 2 hours. It just depends on how thoroughly you read things, how deeply you think about each item. It took me less than 2 hours. Again, I've done them before each year. I have to do them each year, and I think we'll have to do them all together each year. It really is common sense. There's things that you should already know not to do and what to do. Some of the things about reporting is helpful though. Like if you suspect sexual harassment or something like that, it gives advice of, is this something you go to Dr. Rindelman about, or write up a BART report, behavioral assessment, I don't know all that, what each letter stands for, but it's called the BART report. It's on our all staff page. So if you feel there's a situation of some sort of abuse or sexual harassment or whatever, there is a reporting mechanism here at the school, okay? You may have heard about this in other areas. Shannon?
Oh, I was wondering, so is that what we went into our HR, our one USG, and we saw that there was another little payment that I don't fit into my hours? Does it log automatically that you've done it? That's what I think I'm asking.
I don't know. Let me ask.
Okay, because I just know something that I don't think was true.
Well, if it's something, I don't know what dates you're talking about, so if it's December,
Right.
maybe it was a points for work. I don't know. But I usually use the add comment for that, right? I don't know if you noticed, but I use the add comment. So, ask about auto. It's really auto entry into your timetable, right? Or pay, auto pay.
Yeah,
or
I was
entry.
wondering if it like automatically logged how long you were on the
Yeah.
system, because I didn't know why I was getting paid.
All right. Let me try to confirm that today, if not Monday.
Will that be sent out in an email or do I need to come?
I'll send out an email to everybody. Yeah, that's a good question. One way or another, you will get paid for this training, whether it's you entering the time or whether it's automated. There you go. So, another reminder, when you're, some of these things leak into the policies and procedures of number 4 Roman numeral, but please use add comments function. So, Lee, do you tutor now or are you just peer lead? Just peer lead. Mason, he's a good example. So he does MPL, he does peer leading, and he does tutoring. So he needs to use the add comment to say tutored, MPL, peer led, something like that. Again, they don't have to be long essays or anything like that. It don't even have to be a whole sentence. I just need the role tracking. Like today's thing, I saw some people do all staff meeting. It could just be meeting. That's fine. Just something to mark it. It's for them, it's for me, and so forth. All right, now it's your turn. Does anybody have announcements for your organizations or anything like that? I know somebody's in a sorority or at least a couple of people. Do you have anything coming up that you want people to participate in? Yes, I'm putting you on the spot.
Do you have anything, Kayla or Georgia or who else?
Yeah. You want me to do it?
Okay.
Hi, Kayla and I are both in.
Wait, you have to introduce yourself because you're new.
Hi, I'm Haley. I'm new. Kayla and I are both in Delta Zeta sorority, and our spring recruitment is coming up. There's a poster right when you walk in that has all of our dates coming up if you're interested.
Well, I'm going to embarrass you. Not embarrass you.
That's
You
fine.
don't seem embarrassed at all.
I'm not embarrassed. Go
All
ahead.
right, can you stand up again?
Yeah.
All new folks who, there's 7 people in the class right now. can you just stand up for one moment? Introduce yourself, what subject area, and that's all you have to do. What you
Oh, me
tutor?
first.
What should we tutor? Yeah.
Okay, hey, again, I'm Haley. Well, I don't know like officially, but what I said I could tutor is algebra, an education math class, English 1101 and 1102, and communications.
There you go.
My name is Julia, and I'm going to be tutoring math, a lot of different math classes, and some science.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah?
Okay, my name's Georgia. Sorry, you're behind me. I'm gonna tutor math and
And
math.
other things. Mostly
Like
math.
other things, but
Yeah.
mostly math.
Thank you.
I'm Ewan and I'm the field leader for pre-calc.
And I think we got most everybody. Alex isn't here. He's a peer leader. He has a conflict. He'll be doing math. I think everybody in this cohort is doing chemistry. Okay. So it's math and science. That's
And
everything.
Stephen.
And Stephen.
And he'll be doing Spanish.
Yep. He'll be doing Spanish 1002. All right. So where did that go? Okay. It is icebreaker time. Do one of you two want to introduce it, or me? Again, you can just read from the thing. Me.
I just want to make one thing too, the classes he was talking about, that due date for those is January 31st, if you haven't taken those yet. For those 4 things, HR classes you have to take.
Yeah, so
You can
that's
divide it.
6 days. Yeah. I can see you won't get fired if you miss it, but it shouldn't take you that long. I don't know, that's something I would think. Remember, I'm a worker, I'd be like, will I get in trouble, or like, I don't know. Just knock it out, it'll take less than 2 hours. I think they'll just say, can you please finish it?
HR will just bombard you with
Yeah. Just HR. Haley.
Does that apply to newer employees as well? Because I don't remember getting an email.
Don't worry about it.
Probably you did not get the email.
It will come eventually, if not this semester, then this fall. That's a great question. All right. All right, let's do the fun. Let's do some policies and procedures. All right, ready? Points for perks. We are revising it. We did a survey, Tanya distributed it, and we're recording, right?
Yes.
And we're going to get this. I really want points for perks to do well. A couple of comments said, that some of the ways of earning points seem to be just a part of the job. I was like, that's fair. Remember the 3 areas besides tutoring: custodial, inventory, and customer service.
Well, that's supposed to
That's
be.
you have to take a class.
Ah,
That's
you
pretty good. And so some of those points for perks, opportunities to earn points, were just those things that we're expecting you to do in your
So we removed all of those.
Yeah. So let's see, where is it? The points for perks. Do we have some listed here? So things still on it, and coloring sheets is one of them. It's decoration. People do it together. Sometimes it's fun. You don't have to do them, but that's one of the ways we decorate our wall up there. Posting on Facebook and Instagram is another way. Things around the center, with people's permission, of course. What you're doing with your colleagues in here, something like that. That's a part of it. Let's see. Wearing Cougar Spirit apparel. It's either red, white, and blue or Cougar shirts and sweatshirts and things like that on Fridays. Okay. I understand we don't have tutoring on Fridays, but we do have MPLs. So here's 2 ways I figure you could do it. Is some people hang out here on Fridays. They come in, say hi, whatever. If you're wearing your Cougar wear on Fridays, you can earn points that way. And then the MPLs, Ariana, who else is our Friday? Corey, right? Samantha. So wear your Cougar Spirit wear on Fridays and earn some points for your yellow team and your green team, all right?
We passed around a small petition, we would like to be called Team Emerald.
Ooh. earn points for Team Emerald. So if you can think of ways, and if you remember the interview, we do ask, how have you gone above and beyond in a volunteer position or a paid position? If you can think of, quirky, trivial maybe, but fun things that might contribute to community or spirit or some aspect of the center, or CSU in general, that's the spirit wear, please offer Tanya and Kathy the activity or thing that could be added to the list. Kathy, did you have a comment?
No, there was one way that's like a five pointer. If one of your clients comes in and it just brags on you and you gave them exceptional customer service and all, and it really helped them and all, that's like 5 points. I think all of last semester, I had one person. They came in after they had their tutor session, was just bragging on how great it was and stuff like that.
Yeah. So some of these you can see are categorized sort of according to those 3 areas that I listed that are attached to the positions here, but they are sort of above and beyond. So as somebody mentioned, I think in the survey, checking the dry erase markers at the whiteboards, that's just a part of the job. I don't know. So these are some of the extra things. And we'll continue to monitor it and refine points for perks as we go. One aspect of it that changed too, do I have to describe it, or can you briefly describe it? About earning a minimum of 10 points?
Yeah, so everybody on the team has to earn at least 10 points.
For everybody to earn the money
Yeah,
that
so
goes
if the-
with winning.
So
Yeah.
if the winning team only had a couple people to participate and earn points, the rest of the team won't get rewarded for that.
But we will look at other teams that might have had high point scores and return reward those with some.
Yeah. So we will do the survey again at the end of the semester to see how it goes. We're constantly assessing, right? And Lee, don't mess us up. don't put a wrench in it. Just
No, I
now.
wasn't gonna, I was gonna ask if you could publish the results of the survey. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could. Why not? Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We'll just share it through email. All right. How are we doing? 10 minutes. All right. I gotta go. Sorry. Next time we're gonna do a 90-minute meeting because I'm too slow. Okay. So I know there are several things. So the first week, if you don't have appointments, please take a look at the handbook. Okay. It's not a page turner necessarily, but it is informative and it is the policies of the center. So some of the things we've changed are points for perks. We've added a mentor program, and I should read that. That's in here, right? We didn't add it. The most recent, you can see, the most recent update was 122. So you can see us. We're regularly looking at this. If you have downtime, look at it. The front desk staff, Tanya and Kathy, they look at it when they have downtime, and we talk about it. And so I want feedback. Where's the, here it is, staff mentor. So, come on now. Is it not doing it? You see it over here?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. There, now we go. Oh, looks like I gotta act on some of these things. Okay. So, some people might not be able to see this. The purposes of the staff mentor program is to offer new staff, we've met some today, a helpful resource as they become assimilated and acclimated to the culture, policies, and procedures of the ACT. During your first term, their first term, new tutors and peer leaders will be paired with experienced tutors and peer leaders. So let me clear this up. People in the course this semester and people who had just exited the course last semester, we would like you to be involved with the peer mentor program. The pairing is facilitated by the administrative team, including the graduate student, if available. We still don't have one to replace Kelly, and the peer leader coordinator, who's Mr. Castleton. The administrative team will ask for volunteers, which we've received some volunteers, from the experienced staff to be mentors. The mentors and proteges may choose their own pairs, but they will be assigned if no pairs are made according to subject, when possible, and according to accommodating schedules. Mentors are permitted to have more than one protege. Some people say mentee, but really the proper pairing is mentor and protege. That's college word. at their discretion. And there's a very funny Seinfeld with that about mentors and proteges, by the way, if you're watching that on Netflix. Yeah, sweet. The admin team will also maintain an online spreadsheet with the mentor and protege pairings and contact info. So what are some ways you would imagine protege benefiting from the mentorship? Especially more recently minted tutors. And go ahead, Pat Mason, please.
I was going to say, typically I find that for new tutors there's general confusion with EAB because, let's be honest, EAB isn't a perfect program. So it's nice to have somebody there who can explain to you how things work around it.
The what?
EAB, just
Oh, EAB.
in general.
Okay.
It's got its faults here. and
It's
there.
not as intuitive as one might like,
Yeah,
right?
so.
Yeah. It seems like each year I have to learn. I have to learn this stuff too. Like,
Change
all
it
right.
when you do
How
it.
to- yeah. Surprise!
I've been to one revision, what I did was looking comfortable and that's all of it, so.
Yeah. So yes, EAB is something that it would benefit from it. Other benefits that newly minted or seasoned people, what do you think would be beneficial? So seasoned people, looking back, when you first joined us, what were you like, gosh, I wish somebody, a mentor would have helped me do what?
Problem clients.
What's that?
Clients who show up and they're like, hey, I'm here for,
Apathetic clients?
yeah,
Or?
the ones who just need the credit and you know they don't care about it.
Yeah, especially for writing.
Some of them come from Sunday Rose Holtz or Rose's class.
Clayton's too.
Yeah. So that does happen. What do you do? And this was going to be one of our items on our agenda. What do you do when you get, whether you're math or science or what, an apathetic client who, if it's for writing and Sunday Rose, just here for the credit, or a teacher just told them to come for math? Like, what do you do? Jacob?
So I will go through the procedure of trying to ask them, are they having any problems? Maybe if they have any papers that they've gotten back that we can look at. I'll try to go through, a couple different steps to try and get them to talk. If not, and they leave after like 5 minutes, I'll put in their tutor report. Because they didn't do the time to come and prepare for the tutoring session, so I won't give them credit.
Thank you. Yes, you're supposed to do that. So if you have somebody who doesn't seem engaged, apathetic, or whatever, in a diplomatic way, record that in the report. Just say, I hope next time maybe we can have a more dynamic, somehow, imply at the best that it was not a good session. So, maybe please make another appointment. We look forward to a more dynamic appointment where, or you didn't seem very engaged. Let us know if there's anything we could do to make you more
I'll put
interested.
some of that in their tasters. I think the thing that speaks most is the little time clock of how long they were there.
Yeah.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
5
Good,
minutes,
thank you.
here, 5 minutes.
That's good. All right. So, so EAB, how to deal with clients. That's what the mentor program can help benefit new folks. Let's see. Yep. I don't know. I worked a lot of jobs where I had to clock in and clock out. Okay, so we're going to do like those jobs. Maybe you've had those jobs too. We're going to, when you come in, the first thing you should do, besides maybe setting down your bags or things like that, is clock in at the kiosk out there. It's a faster computer now. It should work well. It's on all day, so it's not, you don't have to go through the whole logging in process except for my CSU to get to One USG Connect. So clock in that time, submit it, log out, and then start your prep time. Okay, reviewing your clients, if you have some listed, seeing who you're going to work with, getting to know their names and things like that. Grab your badge, of course, your lanyard with your name tag. It's just something. It's all mixed. I walk over to advising, and I guess I look like an adult learner student. So when I go over there, sometimes they think I'm a student. If I'm wearing my badge, though, it might distinguish that I'm somebody that works here and things like that. And there builds a different relationship. So wearing your name badge will help different people.
So instead of logging into like One USG, like on our laptops, we just do it outside.
Can you do that? Yeah, just get in the habit of
Just do
that.
it,
It's
yeah, it's just like a
it's-
time clock when you come in.
I'm forcing
Clock in and
habits.
out your time.
I'm forcing
Be
habits.
sure you log out of your steps so that
Yeah.
it's taken behind you.
Okay. There's a couple exceptions, there's a couple of exceptions with peer leaders, and they already know those, and they've been instructed by Mr. Cassidy. Okay. But when they do their sessions, please use the kiosks. Okay. Time, review your appointments, review clients. Those who work in 116 here, that's what this area is, please, or anywhere throughout the center, don't only depend on the text messages. Those are just a benefit and a courtesy to let you know when clients are here. It's a backup. Things slip my mind and so forth. Keep your eye, if we have clocks that actually work, keep your eye on your phone, on the clocks,
This
and
one back
so
here
forth.
is actually, that one's, we gotta call it in again.
And I think the word is in anticipation
Oh,
of
this
your
is wrong too,
appointments.
this is not changed, so we gotta call it clocks in.
So again, in anticipation of your appointments, please be alert to that. Don't just depend only on the front desk. If you have time between, I know I've seen people just hang out up there for their next appointment. Just sit up there and wait and chat with Kathy or Tanya or Mason or somebody, waiting for your appointment. It's okay. He's our honorary front desk attendant person.
It's fine.
Who else sits up there? Who else sits up there? Yeah, Austin sits up there.
I stand up there more
Stand.
likely.
So the point of that is be prepared.
Sometimes, but she's here, Julie hangs out.
Yep.
I
Julie
steal, I
does
steal
too.
Mason too.
Yeah, let's fight over it.
It's an ongoing war.
Please do this, maybe sometime today. Add the ACT's phone number to your contacts. You know, add it to your contact list. Because what has occurred where you may ignore it? I know I ignore the numbers if I don't know who it is. What's happened? Is it through text or EAB or what? What's?
I think it's when they get, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's a good reason.
What's the reason if you need to call us? If you want to come, call us, let us know.
706-568-2483 is the number. Put ACT, I have it on my phone. It's on our website. It's 706-568-2483. You know, and then it won't say like scam likely or whatever.
I'm trying to think of Yeah, that one time they called my mom.
received. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to go look
They
her
called her
up.
mom.
Oh, one other thing, this is important. I know somebody let Kayla know. That door right there, when Kathy and Tanya and I are here, it will be unlocked. Don't use it. Don't let anybody know about it, okay? Unless there's an emergency and you're like, go to that door, it's unlocked. Because of fire concerns, even though I know there's some rooms in here that are probably hazards as well, that door back there with the curtain in front of it is unlocked when we're here. That means when we're not here, I need, and there's usually only a couple, I need you tutors to move, that are usually in here after we leave, to move up to the front. Okay? It's only a handful. So, unlocked, it's unlocked, it should be unlocked right now for our safety. So if there's a fire blocking that door, we can go that way. Alright, but don't advertise it. We're going through that one. And so forth. Okay. I don't know if I think we covered everything critical. I don't know if we covered everything we were hoping for. We were going to talk about scenarios like the apathetic student or client and so forth. And we can do that in another meeting. But what we have right now, see you later, is Chris Holloway